Today I'm sharing some lesser known live streaming tips for those of you who are just getting started with live streaming and you're trying to figure all of this stuff out. Starting with the lint roller, because I've seen so many people go live with crud all over their clothes, especially if you're wearing dark clothes, and I've done it too. I've gone live, I've had lint on my shirt. Get a lint roller. These things are super cheap. Do your shirt, do your hat if you wear a cap. Super cheap, worth the money. The next tip is to go old school. Get a Sharpie, get a piece of paper, get some gaff tape. By the way, if you don't have gaff tape yet, you need to buy some. It doesn't leave any sticky residue on whatever you stick it on. It comes in all sorts of different colors. I'll put a link down below to show you what I buy. If you're like me when you're live streaming, or maybe you don't know what you're going to talk about, write down a couple of bullet points, maybe 5 bullet points, 6 bullet points to keep you on track, and then tape it underneath your camera or put it somewhere where you can see it. Write it down, make it easy to read. So if your brain shuts off in the middle of your stream, like mine often does, look at this, it's going to keep you on track. And if you're wondering if you can do that digitally, of course you can. Do whatever works best for you. I like going old school. That way the screen doesn't shut off or something doesn't scroll out of the way. Sharpie, paper, I'm good to go. Next up is to be careful with the beverage that you're sipping on before and during your live streams. I've done hundreds of hours of live streaming and I've tested all sorts of different beverages. And what I found works best for me is something like coconut water. Coffee doesn't work that good, even though I will drink coffee from time to time, but water works great. Coconut water works great. It also has electrolytes in it. Herbal tea works great, but I would stay away from sodas and maybe test out coffee, the difference between cold coffee and warm coffee. You're going to find if you struggle with long live streams with your throat getting scratchy, that different beverages can have an effect. The best thing that I found, which I stopped drinking, was Gatorade. But I stopped drinking Gatorade because of the sugar content, and I tried to reduce some of the sugar in my life. But Gatorade worked really well at coating the throat. But now I'm on coconut water or water. So experiment, figure out what works best for you if you start to get a scratchy throat. And of course, it goes without saying that you need to make sure that you stay hydrated. If you sit down to go live and you do not have a tasty beverage in front of you, you're setting yourself up for failure. So stay hydrated. Take a sip whenever you feel like you need to take a sip. Now, this one is for those of you who are having problems with P sounds and air going into their microphone. You can probably see by looking at my microphone that I have a windscreen on my microphone, I have a pop filter on my microphone, and it's tilted at an angle so my breath is going across the top of the microphone. Let's just pretend that this lint roller is a microphone. If I were to speak directly into this microphone, based on my poor microphone techniques, I'm going to have my air go directly into the microphone, and you're going to get a lot of plosives, as they call them, a lot of P sounds, and you might get a lot of weird mouth sounds. So what you can do, if that's you, put your microphone at an angle, use a windscreen or use a pop filter, and make sure that your air goes across the top of it instead of directly into it. This is something that you're going to have to experiment with to find the right angle and placement for you, but if you do it, you can get the right sound. Next up is to be mindful of what's happening at the beginning of your live stream. A lot of people love to go live and have a really long countdown before they go live. And that's cool, it can build anticipation, but a lot of people are not coming to your live stream to sit through a counter. So here's something that you can do. You can put a counter at the beginning of your live stream. You can even go live and you can welcome people in your chat. You can do all of the things that you might want to do for the community building. Then you can pause, and then you can actually start the live stream. Today we're going to talk about XYZ. Then you can go into YouTube and use their editor, and you can cut right before you say that intro and leave everything after. So what you're left with is a repurposed video that you can actually put a title on, choose a good topic for it, put a good thumbnail on it, so it might get more views on the replay. But be warned, when you cut your video this way, you will lose the live chat. So if you want the live chat to show, don't cut your video, don't edit that video down. But if you are going to use a long counter at the beginning, just remember for playback purposes, people don't want to sit through that. But if you want to use it anyway, at least come back and put chapters on your live stream so people can go back and actually click around to different points in your live stream. What I'm trying to say here is always respect the audience's time, especially when it comes to playback. And piggybacking on that, one of the cardinal sins that you can do for live streaming is to go live and say things like, we're going to wait for some more people to show up. We're going to wait till some more people get in the chat. Don't do that. Start your live stream, welcome people if you're going to welcome people, and get right into it. Respect the audience's time. Trust me on this one, it's going to work better for you in the long run. Now, if you have an XLR microphone, and by that, I'm talking about this type of connection right here. That's called an XLR connection. If you have an XLR microphone and you find that no matter what you do, it's just not loud enough. You can't get the microphone loud enough. If that's the case, you need a device like this. This is called a cloud lifter. They make other ones called Fethead and some other brands. The way this works is you connect from your microphone into the cloud lifter or the Fethead, and then from the other side into your mixing board. So you have XLR connectors on both sides. And what this does is it gives you, I think this one gives about 20 dB of clean gain to your sound. So if you run it through this, it's going to be loud enough. You'll probably actually have to turn it down, but it's not going to be distorted. It's going to be clean. I'll put a link to a couple of these options down in the description as well and show you what I use. I use the cloud lifter on a couple different microphones here in the studio, and I also use one called a Fethead. Links down below. Did I mention gaff tape? You got to have gaff tape. If you're a live streamer or a video creator, you will want gaff tape in your studio. It doesn't leave sticky residue behind. I've got white gaff tape. I've got black gaff tape. I've got thick and thin gaff tape. I've got gaff tape covering my laptop camera right now, and I know that I can peel it off and it's not going to leave sticky residue. So totally worth it. Now, if you're someone like me who always forgets to turn off the vibration on their phone, I'm great about turning off the audio, but I always leave on the vibration. And if that's you, where you had your phone vibrate before while you're recording the video or live streaming, get a piece of foam. This is just cheap acoustic foam. I've cut it into small pieces. I put it on my desk and I put my phone on it. Next up is to get some good moderators, at least one good moderator. It could be someone you trust. It could be a friend. It could be a family member. Mod them so they're in your chat room. So if people get out of control, if you start getting a raid or trolls coming in trying to spam your chat, if you have a moderator, they can take care of that. But the trick here is, because you probably know about moderators, but the trick here is to have communication before you go live with your moderator to let them know what the rules are. What are the rules of engagement for your chat? What do you allow and what do you not allow? And it's also good to have a back channel set up so you can actually see what the mod is trying to tell you. So if someone is giving you super chats, or maybe you missed a question, if you have maybe a device open or an extra window and the mod can chat with you, he can say, or she can say, hey, you missed this super chat or you missed this question. Get a mod, get a couple of mods. Don't be bullied into accepting mods from people you don't know. Everyone wants to be a mod. Don't mod someone unless you know them or you trust them. I bet nobody's ever told you to keep a lint roller by your live streaming desk. Oh my God, I'm so dumb. Okay. This next one should be common sense, but I make this mistake myself. Don't just walk up to your computer before a scheduled live stream, turn it on and think you're going to go live. Come in maybe an hour before, open up your computer, make sure you're not being forced into some sort of an update, make sure your internet connection's fine, make sure everything's fine for at least an hour before, so you don't end up in a situation where you're getting ready to go live, you're in there at the last second, and you can't go live because you're being forced into an update somewhere. The next one is for those of you who struggle with things like ums and ahs and all kinds of weird things that you might say. The next day or 2 days after your stream, go back and listen to what you said in the stream and take notes. Start paying attention to how many ums you say, how many ahs that you say, and get comfortable with making a pause. It's okay to pause so you don't say or ah. Get comfortable with it. It's totally normal. Start paying attention to the things that you say that you want to change, and over time, you will start changing them. The next one is for those of you who wear glasses like I do. This goes without saying, and you probably already do this. Get something to clean your glasses, keep it on your desk. And if you're having problems with glare in your glasses, that means your light is at the wrong angle. Reposition your lights. Sometimes you have to raise your lights up higher and tilt them down to get the glare off your glasses. I get so many questions. How do I get the glare off my glasses? You have to reposition your lights. Usually raising them up or putting them off to the side more and tilting them down is going to be the answer. And for those of you wondering what the best software is to go live or the best cloud-based solution, I'm going to put links to my favorites, to my recommendations down in the description below. Once you've done your live stream and after you started building momentum for your show or for your live stream, eventually you're going to start getting comments, and some of them might be hateful comments or just comments you don't want to see. Click on the video that's showing on the screen right now. I'm going to show you how to take care of those comments so you never have to see them again.